At night show, the Dr. Phil show exploded. Cameras were rolling, lights were blazing, and what was supposed to be a calm interview turned into a full-blown disaster. Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla. Elon Musk walked onto the stage like he owned the place. You could see it in the way he moved, calm, a little playful, but with that cocky edge he's known for. He gave a small wave to the crowd, flashed a grin, and sank into his chair like he didn't have a care in the world. But you could also tell he was ready. Like he knew this wasn't going to be some easy conversation. Dr. Phil didn't waste any time. As soon as Elon got comfortable, Dr. Phil leaned forward with a look that could cut glass and asked, "Are you a genius or just a provocateur?" The way he said it, it wasn't just a question. It was a shot. A challenge right there in front of everyone. Elon barely blinked. He smiled wider like he loved it and leaned back in his chair. "I'm a genius," he said, voice cool as ice. "You're just a talker." You could almost hear the air get sucked out of the room. For a second, no one said anything. A few people in the audience shifted in their seats. Some murmured. Others just stared, waiting to see what would happen next. Even the producers behind the cameras looked nervous, glancing at each other, wondering if they needed to step in already. This wasn't just a little friendly teasing. You could feel it. The tension had cracked open and it was about to spill everywhere. And SpaceX stormed off the set after a brutal clash with Dr. Phil himself. It wasn't just a heated argument, it was a meltdown that sent shockwaves across the internet. Within minutes, clips from the show were all over social media. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it. People were posting wild takes, arguing in the comments and trying to figure out how everything went so wrong so fast. Studio insiders said it was chaos behind the scenes. Security had to step in, producers were shouting through headsets, and nobody knew if the show could even continue. It all started simple enough. Elon Musk had agreed to a high-profile sit-down interview with Dr. Phil. It was supposed to be a big moment. Two huge names, one stage, talking about technology, the future, and maybe even Elon's latest moves with his companies. But from the second Musk walked onto that stage, something felt off. His body language was tense, his smile tight. Dr. Phil looked ready too, almost like he was waiting for a fight. What happened next? It blew up way bigger than anyone could have guessed. Dr. Phil didn't back down. He straightened up, locked eyes with Elon, and said, "You might be smart, but that doesn't mean you're always right." The crowd gave a little ooh, like they were watching a schoolyard fight about to blow up. Elon laughed. Not a friendly laugh, but the kind that says you have no idea who you're messing with. "I build rockets," Elon shot back. "You build drama." The audience stirred again, louder this time. You could see some people looking around, whispering. A woman in the second row actually gasped. It was clear now. This wasn't going to be a normal interview. It was a battle. Dr. Phil leaned in, calm but sharp. "You're building chaos too," he said. "You're running companies that could shape the future, but half the time, it looks like you're playing games on Twitter. How can anyone trust you?" That hit a nerve. You could see Elon's jaw tighten. He didn't smile this time. Instead, he pointed right back at Dr. Phil. "You care more about clicks than truth," Elon said. "You pretend to help people, but you sell them out for ratings." Boom. The whole studio felt it. People shifted in their seats again, but this time it wasn't just nervous energy. It was excitement. Like nobody could believe they were watching. This live camera zoomed in. Producers were scrambling behind the scenes, speaking fast into headsets. Some were already texting, probably trying to figure out if they needed to cut to commercial if things got worse. And they did. Dr. Phil fired back, saying Elon was no different, just another billionaire who thought he was above everything. Elon's face hardened. He leaned forward and said loud enough for everyone to hear, "I'm above you." The words hung in the air. Even the lights seemed to flicker for a second. Everyone knew there was no way this was going to end quietly now. For a second it felt like time froze. Elon sat there staring Dr. Phil down like he was deciding whether to keep fighting or just end it. Then he snapped, Elon shoved his chair back with a loud screech. The noise cut through the studio like a knife. "You're a fraud," he barked, standing up and pointing straight at Dr. Phil. "You pretend you're helping people, but you're just feeding your ego." Gasps filled the room. The audience wasn't even trying to hide their reactions anymore. Some people clapped. Others looked, straight up shocked. Dr. Phil stayed sitting totally still, almost like he expected this. Maybe he did. "You don't get to lecture me," Elon went on, voice rising. "You don't do anything. You sit here, safe, judging people who actually take risks." The producers panicked. You could see them waving at the cameras, signaling to cut, to a wide shot. One guy was frantically whispering into a headset. Security stepped a little closer to the stage, just in case. Dr. Phil tried to say something, maybe to calm it down, maybe to throw one more punch. But Elon wasn't having. Without waiting another second, Musk tore off his mic, threw it down onto the couch, and stormed off. The camera caught him disappearing behind the stage curtain, leaving stunned silence behind him. People in the crowd looked around, waiting to see if it was real or some kind of setup. But the look on Dr. Phil's face said it all. This wasn't staged. This was Elon Musk, raw and unfiltered, walking away without looking back. A few seconds later, the show cut to a messy commercial break. But by then, it didn't matter. The damage was already done. The internet was about to explode. The second the cameras cut, the studio turned into chaos. Producers rushed the stage, barking into walkie-talkies. Dr. Phil's assistants hovered, trying to figure out if he wanted to keep rolling or shut it all down. Some audience members got up from their seats. Others pulled out their phones, recording everything they could. Backstage, Elon's team was already trying to get him out of the building. He wasn't talking to anyone, just storming down the halls with a dead-set look that dared anyone to get in his way. Within minutes, clips from the blow-up started hitting the internet. Someone from the audience posted the moment Elon shouted fraud, and it spread like wildfire. The hashtags, Elon vs Phil and Musk meltdown, were trending on X, Instagram, and TikTok before Dr. Phil could even get back to his dressing room. On X, people picked sides fast. Some roasted Elon, calling him fragile and arrogant. Others defended him, saying Dr. Phil pushed too hard and got exactly what he asked for. Big influencers jumped in too. Some were making memes. Some were posting side-by-side clips of Musk's past interviews, trying to paint a bigger picture. Even celebrities couldn't resist. A-listers were tweeting one-liners about it. One post from a famous comedian just said, "Imagine getting roasted off your own therapy couch," and racked up millions of likes in under an hour. Meanwhile, Dr. Phil's PR team tried to spin the chaos as a spirited conversation between two strong personalities. But no one was buying it. Everyone saw what happened, and they weren't going to forget it. Within hours, major news outlets were covering it. CNN called it the most unexpected meltdown of the year. Fox News ran a panel asking if Musk's behavior meant he was finally cracking under pressure. TMZ was camped outside the studio trying to catch Musk leaving. It wasn't just a viral moment. It was a full-blown media explosion. And both Elon and Dr. Phil were right in the middle of it, whether they liked it or not. By the next morning, it was everywhere. News anchors were replaying the clip of Elon storming off like it was the Zapruder film. Every headline had the same vibe. Elon Musk loses it on Dr. Phil's set. Dr. Phil put out a short, stiff statement on his socials. He said he respected Elon's passion but stood by his questions. It sounded polite, but everyone could read between the lines. He was throwing shade without saying it outright. Elon didn't stay quiet either. He posted one of his classic late-night tweets. "If you can't handle real questions, maybe you shouldn't pretend to have real answers." No name mentioned, but everyone knew exactly who it was about. The internet split into full-blown teams. Team Elon said Dr. Phil was just trying to bait him for ratings. Team Phil said Musk finally showed the world who he really was. Arrogant, thin-skinned, and out of touch. Podcasts were breaking it down frame by frame. TikTokers were reenacting the blow-up with costumes and bad accents. YouTubers were already uploading reaction videos titled things like, Elon Musk versus Dr. Phil, who was wrong? Even other billionaires got dragged into it. One tech CEO tweeted, "Elon making us all look bad, thanks bro." Meanwhile, talk shows were having a field day. Late-night hosts couldn't stop cracking jokes. Behind the scenes, insiders said Dr. Phil's producers were actually thrilled. The ratings were about to go through the roof. One source even said they were trying to see if Elon would agree to come back for a round 2. Not surprisingly, Elon's team refused. Fast. Meanwhile, some big sponsors that were set to air ads during the episode started getting nervous. A few quietly pulled their spots, not wanting to be caught in the middle of the drama. It wasn't just a bad interview anymore. It turned into a full-blown PR war, both sides scrambling to control the damage while the internet just kept fanning the flames. And no matter who you sided with, Musk or Phil, one thing was clear. Nobody was walking away from this clean. At the end of the day, it wasn't about who won or lost. It was a clash of two giant egos, live and unfiltered for the whole world to see. And whether you loved it or hated it, one thing's for sure. Nobody's forgetting that night anytime soon.